Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Buffalo School District tells students that all white people play a part in perpetuating systematic racism. There's a growing use of critical race theory or so called anti racist curricula in U.S. institutions. Buffalo schools have adopted a curriculum that pushes controversial ideas about race, such as that all white people perpetuate systematic racism. The school district's training and curriculum gained renewed attention on Tuesday when Discovery Institute researcher Chris Ruffo reported on a whistleblower's comments. According to Rufo, the whistleblower claimed that Dr. Fatima Morel, who served as associate superintendent for culturally and linguistically responsive initiatives, has been pushing radical politics. In practice, that has translated into scoldings, guilt trips, and demands to demean oneself simply to make another feel empowered, according to the whistleblower from Rufo, described as a veteran teacher. One of the district's instructional materials also includes the assertion that all white people play, all white people play a part in perpetuating systematic racism. Fox News previously reported on Buffalo's embrace of a Black Lives Matter curriculum that taught students to question the nuclear family structure. The lesson plans obtained by Tucker Carlson tonight and prepared by the Buffalo Public Schools Office of Culturally and Linguistically Responsive Initiatives instruct teachers to discuss various guiding principles with students, including black villages, which they describe as a disruption of Western nuclear family dynamics, and a return to the collective village that take care of each other. The school system took the lesson plans offline last year, but Fox News retained and re uploaded copies. Rufo's whistleblower echoed other across the country who have complained about the growing trend of critical race theory or so called anti racist curricula in U.S. institutions. Earlier this month, Fox News reported on the Oregon Department of Education promoting a teacher training program that sought to undo racism in mathematics. It argues, among other things, that white supremacy manifests itself in the focus on finding the right answer. Anti-racism curricula have received an array of criticism and support. For example, political scientist Carol M. Swain previously told Fox News' Laura Ingraham that certain curricula put forth by Black Lives Matters and being embraced in too many places is really destructive of the black community and the black family and racial justice. Angela Awuchi Willig, an expert on critical race theory at Boston University School of Law, told the Boston Globe that critical race theory helped people understand the complexity of race beyond simple narratives that they may have been taught. Racism is not extraordinary, she continued. Race and racism are basically baked into everything we do in our society. It's embedded in our institutions, it's embedded in our minds and hearts. Neither Morrell nor the Buffalo School District responded to a request for comment. So basically, they're telling the truth, man. White people are the reason there's systematic racism because of the privileges they are given, because of the people that are in power, the people that are living basically in, how do I say, living in basically hierarchy than everybody else. And that's been the problem. A lot of people, especially, the pink folk, they basically do not want to confront systematic racism or anything. They don't want to talk about none of this stuff because, for one, the reason they don't want to talk about it is because they're ashamed of it. They're upset about it. They're upset about it. They feel that, they feel like that makes them look bad in the long run. And it's not that it looks bad, it's that you guys just don't want to confront it. If the pink folk actually confronted their problems and basically told the truth that everything is pointed towards making them look good while condemning all the other all the other blacks and all the other blacks and all the other minorities, then we would be able to move forward. But that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen at all. People was people just to me are very ignorant. And that's why a lot of racism and systematic racism has been going on. And systematic racism is going to continue because they fear if we come together. And that's what black people fail to realize. When we're together, we're very hard to deal with, we're very hard to stop. And that goes for whatever we put our mind to. That's why I was saying, like, when these athletes were basically before the bubble started, and this is why I argue with people, they should have sat their butt down. They should have sat out. They should have sat out and they should have made a statement. When the CBA came up, they should have made a statement and sat out. They would have lost some money. But see, these athletes are scared to sacrifice. They're scared to sacrifice. They are. They're scared to sacrifice. They're scared to put their name on the line because they're afraid of the repercussions that they'll be blackballed. Who cares if you're blackballed? Don MLK, he got killed. He knew he was finna die, but he still went forth with what was gonna happen, which was march and which was to put something out there to show people around the world that these these pink folk are animals. That they're the reason why we're not able to do what we have to do. Now, with us, we're tearing up stuff, we're destroying stuff now. That's not helping anything. Yeah, we're angry, but see, what we need to do is channel our anger into something constructive, which is tearing the system down from within. And we could do that. That's why I love the book Art of War, because it teaches you that you may not outnumber the enemy, but you can still beat the enemy. If you have 800 people compared to their 50,000s or 500,000, you still could beat them. You have to outsmart them, and we can. We don't need to worry about what they're doing because whatever they're doing, they're going to do it anyway. They've been constructing that plan for decades and millennia. We have to construct a plan that lasts beyond decades and beyond millennia. So our children's children and their children could continue with this work where then one day they'll be able to suffice and won't have to depend on those people. Now, granted, the pink folk will try to come out of nowhere and destroy it or sabotage it because that's how they always are. They want us to depend on them. They want us to look at them as gods and queens and kings and everything when they're not. They're nothing but rats and below the barrel. And that's not all pink folk, but some of them are rats, or they don't even deserve, they should live in the sewer for the rest of their life because they are not doing anything constructive to help or even trying to grow the community. And then people want to come out and say, well, BLM is a Marxist group. Well, what about the KKK? The KKK is a Marxist group. But you guys don't complain about the white privilege or the white things that happen. That's the problem with white people. They only see one view, and that's their view. They got a superiority complex. Not saying that some white people may not have gone through bad things. There are some white people that have gone through things, but it's not to the level of where blacks have gone through. Now, there's some blacks who were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, who had both parents, they were spoiled, they were able to do what they had to do. But a lot of those brothers, what messes us up is that black people who are born in middle class or born rich, they're seen as they're seen as oh, they're too good for us, or oh, they're acting white. And it's like, come on, stop it. us as black people in whatever part of life we're living in, whether it's rich, poor, in the middle, which is middle class, we need to come together and pick and put something together. Now, what the school is doing is trying to teach white people that, look, we are the problem of systematic racism. We don't understand the power that we have, and we don't understand that they allow us to do whatever we want to do. And they're trying to teach that and trying to teach them about racism, trying to teach them about undertones that may be said or how things are pointed in this direction. And I wish for the school to they took it down, but I hope they open that curriculum back up, because whites need to understand what's going on. They need to understand what's going on with blacks, and they need to understand the real history of blacks. If you show a lot of these white people what they've done to us and show the pictures of them cutting our genitals off, putting it in our mouth, burning us at the stake, stealing land from us by making up written laws to try to basically bombard us and destroy us, because they knew that we weren't very good at reading. So they put everything in the book so then they could say, oh, look what we did. Oh, you can't be here and all that, which is just a damn travesty. And that's how they are. That's why the Indians said it best. They're some forked tongue motherfuckers. They are. They're some forked tongue motherfuckers. And that's what they are. They'll tell you one thing, but they're really doing something else. Thank you for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. Should they make this a mandated curriculum teaching systematic racism, that white people are the problem? Should they teach this? We know they're not going to do that because white people are scared to admit their faults. They want to live in a lie, just like the Jews. Or do you feel they shouldn't put this in schools and they should continue to stay hiding behind their whiteness? Let me know in the comment section what you think. Thank you for listening. We are out. Daisy.